Is MMA ruining martial arts? You know, I really think MMA adds some positive benefits to the public's perception of martial arts in a sense. You know, I think the good side of MMA is that the physical training is involved. I believe it's healthy for people in a certain age group to test their skills. That's always a part of the mixture. There's no question as to whether or not there's physical talent in MMA. The question is really, with any combative sport, is it martial art or is it a sport? Because when you have sport, you have winning and losing. When you have martial art, there are other values that are imparted. There's other reasons for training. With a combat sport, the goal is to win the match. Now, sometimes the argument becomes, well, this martial art's not effective, that martial art's not effective. You know, how do you measure it when the goal is different? So not everyone that studies martial art wants to compete with martial art. Sometimes people's reasons for coming to martial art are different. A combative sport has rules, and you learn to participate or play by those rules. Sometimes street combat, there are no rules. Martial arts that are highly ritualized have the same thing, you know, where they have a different way of practicing. So it's interesting that MMA brings something positive to the table, I think. The biggest differences is in judo. Joint holds and chokes are not taught to kids. They're not taught to kids at a certain age simply because there's a big responsibility. You know, you have growing children, and you talk about dislocations, you talk about breaking a bone, you know, the damage will be with them for the rest of their life, right? I mean, anyone that understands anything about the human body understands it's not a good idea to choke people into unconsciousness, you know, when their brain is still developing, you know? So those are things that just traditionally weren't done. Now, the variation of judo that's become Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they have different practice methods. And there's different philosophies. I mean, you have people teaching that are maybe blue belt level, purple belt level, which is quite different than, say, some of the traditional approaches where the instructor has endured a rigorous training to be an instructor, you know, and has a certain amount of experience. I think that's key.